With the first pick in the 2026 NBA Draft, with the second pick in the 2026 NBA Draft, with the third pick in the 2026 NBA Draft, the Washington Wizards select, the Utah Jazz select, the Memphis Grizzlies select.
Last night in Brooklyn, New York, the NBA held its 80th annual NBA Draft. And I'm going to tell you right now, what the entire nation just watched last night was not a normal draft. Most years at the draft, we get to see one prospect that can actually change your franchise for the next 20 years or so. And maybe two of them if we're extremely lucky. But this year, almost every scout and analyst and NBA executive across the league agreed that this year, there were 3 players who could have gone #1 overall in almost any other draft class. 3 potential #1 picks in the same class. And maybe even 10 more picks after that could all go on to have Hall of Fame careers when it's all said and done. The 2026 NBA draft class is going to be talked about for decades to come. And today I'm going to show you exactly how legendary this class could turn out to be. To understand why this class is so special, you need to know what a generational draft actually looks like 20 years later. 23 years ago, the 2003 NBA draft gave us LeBron James, an 18-year-old high schooler that was nicknamed the Chosen One. 2 picks later, we got one of the most electric scorers in Carmelo Anthony. And the 2 picks after that were 2 NBA legends, Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade. 4 Hall of Famers in the same draft class. And today, people still refer to this as the greatest draft ever. 20 years later, we had a draft that was completely different than the 2003 draft. In 2023, the NBA took in Victor Wembanyama, a generational anomaly on the basketball court. But after Victor Wembanyama, there have only been a couple players from that draft class that have stood out among the rest. What makes the 2026 draft so different is how much depth there is at the very top of the draft board. There isn't just one transcendent player at the top of the board and then question marks. There is 3 prospects who, in any other year, would be the crown jewel of the franchise that they get drafted to. And that's why it's so common for all these scouts to call this one of the deepest classes in recent memory. And when you look at exactly how the draft went down last night, it's hard to disagree with them.
With the first pick in the 2026 NBA Draft, the Washington Wizards select Anise Dybantsa Jr. from Brigham Young University.
And so after a long summer of waiting, it was AJ Dybantsa who goes #1 overall to the Washington Wizards. If you haven't heard the name AJ Dybantsa yet, you will be saying it for the next 15 years. Dybantsa is a 6'9" wing out of BYU who led the entire nation in scoring as a freshman. 25.5 points per game. He shot 51% from the field. He is a mid-range demon. He put up 6.8 rebounds and 3.7 assists. And he was the first player in BYU's history to be taken at #1 overall. This is Kevin Durant, but just a little bit shorter. And the comparisons that the scouts are making have him lined up with Tracy McGrady or Paul George and Jaylen Brown. All of these wings that can score at all 3 levels, dominate at their size, and make everyone around them on the court 10 times better. What makes Dybantsa so special isn't just the scoring that he provides for his team. It's the way that he moves around the court. At 6'9", he has the bend and wiggle of a point guard. He can get to any spot on the floor that he wants. He can finish through contact effortlessly, and the mid-range game that he has is already elite for his age. The Washington Wizards haven't been relevant since the early 2000s when they had Michael Jordan. They haven't won 50 games in a season since 1979. And AJ Dybantsa is their best reason for hope in a generation. And he knows it as well.
With the second pick in the 2026 NBA Draft, the Utah Jazz select Darryn Peterson from the University of Kansas.
And coming in at number 2 overall to the Utah Jazz was Dybantsa's rival, Darryn Peterson. He was a Kansas guard and he was the highest draft pick in the history of the Utah Jazz franchise. The interesting thing about DP is that coming into his freshman year at Kansas, he was widely regarded as the projected number 1 overall pick. Not number 2, number 1. He was that good on paper. He and AJ had their duels in high school. There was a game where Darryn Peterson put up 61 against AJ and AJ put up 45 and almost a triple-double against him. These two have been going at it for a long time, and we saw it on full display when Kansas played BYU in the Big 12 season. But throughout the 2025-2026 college season, Darryn Peterson missed 11 games with mysterious cramping issues, and his availability became such a question mark. And then Dybantsa eventually jumped him in the rankings. But the talent that Peterson displays was never in question. Peterson averaged 20.2 points per game as a freshman, shooting 38% from 3 on nearly 7 attempts a night. That's a pretty insane clip. And he was never held to single digits, never in 24 college games. At 6'6" with elite athleticism, scouts believe that Peterson has the tools to be a multi-time All-Star and maybe a franchise player for the Utah Jazz. His scoring has been previously compared to one of his favorite players, Kobe Bryant. The Jazz already have Ace Bailey and Keontae George in that backcourt, and then they just threw in Darryn Peterson. This Utah Jazz team could be dangerous in the next few years to come.
With the 3rd pick in the 2026 NBA Draft, the Memphis Grizzlies select Cameron Boozer from Duke University.
Rounding out the top 3 was Cameron Boozer to the Memphis Grizzlies. The name might sound familiar. His father, Carlos Boozer, was a 2-time NBA All-Star who spent 6 seasons in Utah and played at Duke. Cameron followed the exact same path at Duke, and then he surpassed every expectation that his father set. This is the thing that is the craziest to me. The National Player of the Year was Cameron Boozer as a freshman, and he went number 3 overall. That shows you how great this draft class is. Cameron Boozer averaged 22.5 points per game, 10.2 rebounds, and 4.1 assists, and led Duke to one of the top seeds in the NCAA tournament. He shot 55% from the field and 39% from 3 as a big man. Those numbers are crazy for a guy his size. And that is not a typical freshman stat line. This guy was really out there at Duke getting buckets like he was a veteran. A lot of scouts say that Boozer is already the most NBA ready player in the entire draft. Not the top 2 picks ahead of him, but Boozer. He can walk into an NBA game tomorrow and be one of the better passing bigs in the league. He's got insane basketball IQ, great positioning, and the ability to make plays out of double teams. All of his skill set is already there. Memphis is in the middle of blowing it all up right now. They might trade Ja Morant, they might not, we'll see. They're moving on from their old core, and Boozer is the face of whatever comes next. And if Memphis builds it right, around Cameron Boozer, they could have something special as well. And after these generational top 3 picks, the draft does not really fall off after there. At number 4, the Chicago Bulls took North Carolina forward Caleb Wilson, a 6'9" explosive athlete with a 7-foot wingspan who Bulls fans are already losing their mind over. If he didn't break his finger in the NCAA season, this guy could have went top 3 as well. At 5, the Clippers took freshman Illinois guard Keaton Wagler, a 6'5" shooter who dropped 46 points at Purdue in the Big Ten tournament and led Illinois to their first Final Four since 2005. This guy is a sniper. Brooklyn took Louisville's Mikael Brown Jr. at number 6 overall. Sacramento grabbed Arkansas guard Darius Acuff Jr. Darius Acuff Jr. went number 7 in this draft. That guy was dropping 40 bombs like 3 months ago in March Madness, and he went number 7. He's a freshman too. At number 8, the Hawks took Kingston Flemings, a surgical scorer with elite passing vision, who is going to get to learn from one of the best scorers, CJ McCollum, down in Atlanta. Dallas reunited with Morez Johnson Jr. from Michigan at 9. Johnson's former college coach Dusty May just agreed to become the head coach there, and now they are reunited in Dallas. And pick 10 through 12 had no drop off either. The Milwaukee Bucks took Braden Burries, a great scorer, at 10. Golden State went with Michigan's Yaxel Lendenberg at 11. And Oklahoma City, who's always up to something in the draft, grabbed 7'3" center Adai Mara at number 12. That's 2 more Michigan Wolverines that were drafted. The national champions just fed the NBA. Now, I've been talking about this generational draft class a lot in this video, but the thing is that we're not going to really know if it's generational until 10 years from now. In 2003, nobody fully understood what they were watching. Sure, LeBron was nicknamed the Chosen One, and everybody knew that he was probably going to be good. But one of the greatest players of all time was a high expectation for him. Carmelo went number 3 and Wade went number 5. Those two went down as legendary NBA players, but the league at that time thought it was just another good draft. It took a decade of legacy before everyone looked back and said, that's one of the greatest draft classes of all time. But I think 10 years from now, when we look back on the 2026 NBA draft, we're going to be looking at it the exact same way. Dybantsa in Washington, Darryn Peterson in Utah, and Cam Boozer in Memphis. Those are 3 franchises that have been irrelevant for a long time, and they just got handed their future on a silver platter. And somewhere in picks 4 through 30, there's going to be multiple players that nobody's talking about right now that are probably going to have a Hall of Fame career. There always is. The 2026 NBA draft was one of the most generational drafts in a very long time. And remember where you were when you watched it for the first time. Drop a comment below, and who do you think is going to turn out to be the Rookie of the Year next year in the NBA? I'm a Jazz fan, so I think I'm going to go with Darryn Peterson. I think we got some brewing in Utah, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I'll see all of you guys in the next one.